Bargain? You got cash to spare?
Well, possibly. I run a criminal organization here, and Calzin has been my second in command for over a month now. Things were running smoothly, until just before my excursion to the tower-struck lands here in Erisia, where suddenly he started running shit completely idiotically, causing massive problems for me and my fellow bandits. I don't know what he's trying to do with my organization, but I need your help to take him down.
Oh, there, Buster. What makes you think we'll side with criminals?
His words, not mine. As long as you give me a fitting reward, I'll help ye out.
I facepalm. God's below Lionel. You're completely incorrigible.
The reason why you need my help is because he'll eventually find and capture you for information. And trust me when I say this, you stand no chance against him without me.
You sure? I didn't find those shadow crabs too hard to deal with.
That's his weakest summon. He is so far beyond you, it's almost comical. He displayed his full power to me at the beginning of my operation, and I had no choice but to recruit him. If left unchecked, he could defeat me and all 5 of my bandit lords at the same time. Or well, it's 4 now since one of them were mysteriously incinerated.
Well, shit. I wonder what happened to that bandit lord.
So do I. Calzin is abusing his power as second in command. You'll need my help to take him down before he starts wreaking havoc in Erisia.
No way. He said the title of the series in the series.
Stop breaking the fourth wall.
I'll need to get you guys back to tip-top shape. Some of you look pretty worn out, especially Penelope. I'll let you scour our storage for useful items. Pilfered health potions are in that chest if you need any.
Gervasius points to a crate embedded with a reddish cloth.
I'll grab a handful of potions from the crate, and I give some of them to Penny.
The potions are thin vials and the liquids are faded pink with small red bubbles. They have wooden corks, stopping them from spilling. Penelope uncorks a potion and drinks it carefully. Penelope restores 9 hit points. The flesh wounds on her skinny legs start closing up as they begin to heal. She wipes a tear from her eyes, sighing in relief.
I turn to Gervasius. You said your bandits are the only source of Irothine and Erisor in this luminant. You wouldn't happen to have any samples here?
Well, of course, check some of the boxes on the upper floors here. We've got tons.
Awesome. I just need a few rocks, that's all.
Do you also have blue caps?
Gods below, you're really robbing me blind here. Besides, you don't look like a blue cap junkie.
No, I need it for a special kind of potion. My teacher has tasked me with discovering and collecting blue caps, but I didn't know people had already found them.
For a potion, huh? Well, gathering blue caps is a pretty hard endeavor. Our foragers can only gather a few caps before needing to retreat. We're forced to dry the mushrooms since they spoil really quickly once uprooted. They happen to be a very potent drug, which sends people into a sort of trance when they've eaten a piece. They also happen to be very addictive, so we try to keep them away from regular bandits. Nobles and rich merchants in Etris trade ludicrous amounts of money just for a few fragments of these things.
That's some pretty important research, thank you. I'll be sure to write it down. Do you know where to find these?
I sadly cannot. Only my foragers know.
Well, that's all right.
What about you, Atran?
The name's Jackdaw. I'm not really in search of anything of material worth. I'm in search of a lost vigil scout who's gone missing in Erisia. I doubt I could find them in a warehouse.
A vigil, huh? I might actually know one. I met one on my trip to the tower-struck lands. They said they were heading to the Garden Reservoir, but that's all I know.
Thank you. Your information has been very valuable to me.
Glad to be of help. Well then, have you all gotten your errands sorted?
Yup, I have my samples. Rosen will be pleased with these. I'm sure of it.
Actually, Barack, I'd like to use my race's innate ability to spot ingredients here. It's high time I brew some potions for once.
All right, with your ability, you find a brown cap, 4 dried blue cap fragments, 6 silver fern, and 3 umber urchins.
Nice, I'll summon a cauldron and try to make a potion with the silver fern first. The blue cap fragments are too valuable to possibly waste right now.
You wave your hands as a magical cast iron cauldron materializes out of thin air in a puff of smoke. The liquid inside swirls in a verdant vortex, calling for ingredients once more.
First, let's try these silver fern. 30-20, nice.
You grab the stalks of the silver fern and begin to pluck the leaves quickly. The green liquid transforms into a metallic gray, similar to mercury. As usual, you perfectly bottle the liquid in a glass flask, and the liquid returns to a green shade.
Then I'd like to try to make a potion with 3 brown caps. Out of 15, that's gotta work.
Indeed. You separate the heads from the brown cap stalks and carefully put the ingredients into the cauldron. The liquid turns into a rich yellow pigment, similar to curry. However, unlike curry, this solution smells incredibly vile, causing you to gag just by being close to it. Basil manages to bottle and cork the yellow swirling liquid. The inside of the cauldron turns green again, but the smell persists.
Yuck, that's pretty gross. I can still smell it through the glass. For my last potion, I want to try these umbre urchins.
These urchins are like no ingredient you've ever seen before. Even though the creature is most likely dead, considering urchins are aquatic creatures, you have an unwelcome feeling that it's somehow still alive, writhing.
Well, that's pretty freaking ominous. I'll try to make a potion with them. Whoa, that's a 21.
You carefully snap the spines off the urchins and throw them into the magical cauldron. The churning liquid inside of the cauldron transfixes into gloomy purple shade. The smell of the concoction sends shivers down your spine. You manage to bottle this foreboding liquid as well, and the cauldron disappears into a puff of smoke, fading out of existence.
Awesome, I've got a whole arsenal of potions again. But what do they even do?
Roll me a medicine or arcana check.
Wasn't it Insight and Nature back in session 1?
Yeah, but I realized that it didn't really make sense, so I changed it. The checks are basically still the same.
Well, then I'm rolling for Arcana. I got a 16. Does that tell me about all of them?
You recognize the yellow and silver potions instantly. The yellow one is a fetid blight, an incredibly rancid smelling potion, meant to be thrown at enemies. When thrown, it creates a 3x3 cloud, and enemies inside have to make a Constitution saving throw above 15. If they fail, they throw up, making them lose their main action and half of their movement. The cloud lingers for 2 turns. The liquid metal-looking potion is a potion of hardening. When poured on armor, it makes it stronger, increasing the AC by 3 for 3 turns. However, it's also a very effective adhesive, which hardens quickly.
That sounds pretty versatile.
What would happen if I drank the potion of hardening?
And probably extreme constipation. Or death.
So it's like McDonald's Sprite?
Yeah, McDonald's Sprite fucks me up every time.
It feels like you're referring to something I don't know about. But what about the urchin potion?
The looming dark lilac potion is unknown to you, but you sure as hell know that you shouldn't drink it. During your potion-making process, Gervasius was watching, intrigued.
I always wondered how potions were made. Looks a lot easier than I thought.
Well, it only looks easy since an expert is doing it. I chuckle a little, showing that I'm joking.
For the next part of my plan, you'll have to pretend like I defeated you. I'll take you all to the prison, which is underground. You will have enough time to rest. I'll buy some time. After that, when he's in the prison with me, I'll break you out, and we all attack him all at once, giving him no time to fight back.
Wait, how do we know that you're not lying? You're taking us all to the prison, which is exactly where Kalzing would want us. I'm not being fooled that easily. And I doubt Penelope would like to go back to her prison.
Penelope pouts and nods. Gervasius scoffs and reaches into his pockets. His hands embrace a copper key.
This key can be used both from the inside and the outside of the prison cell. I'm not trapping you in here.
What if it's a fake key?
God's below. I'm not trying to kill you idiots. Just follow the plan, since you wouldn't be able to defeat him on your own.
Honestly, I'm down for ganging up on Kalzin. If he were lying, why did he give us everything we were looking for? We should follow his plan.
Sure, I guess. He did give me the 2 samples I needed.
And he gave me important information for my mission as well.
Finally, it looks like you trust me. I'll let the Knorr hold the key for the cell. I'll take you to our prisons, where you can rest. I'll try to buy some time with Kalzin. When we finally arrive at the prison, a wink with my left eye means that you should jump out and attack him. I trust you in this plan.
You follow Gervasius out of the warehouse and down into a dark cellar beneath one of the buildings. The tunnels are lit up by torches, which cast wild shadows over the stone brick floor. You come to a stop at an iron door, which looks worn.
Wait, so Erisia has only been at the surface for a month. How do they have a whole settlement here to begin with?
Well, most of the underground stuff here was actually already here before we built our outpost. It served as a useful foundation for our buildings. The rest of the buildings were easy. We just had everyone working at maximum efficiency.
Interesting.
Gervasius gestures for Lionel to open the door, since he has the key.
Aha, I see now. I'll crack this thing open. And let's head inside.
Penelope stops outside, nervous.
Oh, she probably doesn't want to be stuck here again.
Bad memories.
It'll be fine, Penny. We'll only be here for a moment.
Will Gary let us out again?
Gary?
Oh, that's her nickname for me. She has a hard time pronouncing my name. I was the one who originally let Penelope escape since I was disgusted by Kalzin's abuse over this poor girl.
Based beyond belief. I'm making sure this emo hat fucker is put to summer company justice.
Penelope smiles lightly, reassured by Lionel's promise. The gang walks into the cell, which is awfully dark. The floors seem decently clean, but the smell is nothing positive. Gervasius stays outside, nods. He takes a deep breath and walks back to the entrance of the underground prison area.
Well, I guess we're taking a long rest. Anyone got any stories to tell?
Oh boy, this reminds me of the time when I was a wee lad living in the Isle of Vigils. On the day when we were about to have an important math test in the temple, a group of rabble-rousers called the Blacksteel Pirates held our entire island hostage. Now, this was the time when swords hadn't been given to the initiates yet, so all we kids had were sticks. I was really scared, shivering in my timbers. But at the same time, I was really thankful since I hadn't studied for the test. The big old captain of the pirates was a large lad called Felice Blackblubber, because he had a large flowing black beard and was also built like a walrus. He demanded 10,000 notes in compensation to let us live, which was enough to buy an entire city back in the day before the recession.
I don't know what the economics in this Luminant are, but I'm betting that you probably caused this recession as well.
Quiet. It's story time. All the classes were being canceled because Felice Blackblubber was running amok. I was 100% sure the math test would have to be canceled, which relieved me a little bit. Just a little, though, since we were still being threatened by people who were basically terrorists. Then suddenly our math teacher and sword instructor, Maestro Evangard Rest, walked up to Captain Blackblubber. In my head, I was like, gee willikers, this is going to end poorly for our beloved teacher. Blackblubber was laughing, making a bunch of ruckus, but Maestro didn't care. In the blink of an eye, Maestro sliced off both of Blackblubber's peg legs with his katana. Maestro then took out a second katana and started dual wielding, chasing off all the pirates from the island. Blackblubber had to learn to walk with his hands as he ran back like a chicken to his ship. After the nasty pirates left in a hurry, me and all the other kids were cheering for our heroic teacher. But then he said that classes will return as usual, since the pirates didn't take that long to defeat. So we were still having that math test. Needless to say, I got a big fat F.
Penelope laughs, clapping. The story seems to have calmed her down.
Great story.
Wait, is this story real or did you just make it up on the spot?
It's as real as it gets, Basil.
Why was your sword instructor also your math teacher?
It's a lack of teachers. Not a lot of people live at the Isle of Vigils. It's pretty secluded.
Well, that insane rambling of a story has made me sleepy. Let's take a long rest.
Yeah, I do kind of need some HP.
Your rest inside of the prison cell has been arduous, from the cold and hard floor to the lack of fresh air. However, you still managed to get some blinks in, despite these circumstances. Suddenly, you hear a door slam open, as a pair of footsteps now begin to approach your cell. Undoubtedly, these footsteps belong to Gervasius and Kelzin.
I go to shake the others awake. Hurry up, guys, they're coming.
I'll rise from my slumber and quickly insert the key into the lock, so I'm prepared to open it when the time comes. I then go back to position so it looks like I'm still asleep.
Make a stealth check.
Dang, all right. Haha, a 21.
Lionel swiftly inserts the key into the keyhole soundlessly. The Bandit King and the ominous second in command now arrive at your door.
They're in here. It was a pretty tough fight.
Impressive. Seems like you barely needed my shadow pods in the first place.
Kelzin grins woefully at Penelope, who furrows her brows and hisses in return.
Welcome back. You must love this place, considering you're back in the same old dusty cell as before.
No, hate you, hate you.
Penelope reaches through the iron bars of the cell with her arms, trying to claw at Kelzin, who easily backsteps her futile attack.
Oh my. Has living in the wilds made you forget your manners? Perhaps I'll have to straighten you out.
Kelzin clenches his fist as a whip of shadows emerges from it. He reels back, attempting to hit Penelope's arm. She retracts it with instinct and squeaks in fear. The whip lashes the iron bars, making an awful noise.
I'll have some fun with you later. Now, about the other unworkables. By the way, why didn't you take their weapons before throwing them into the cell?
Calzin, you might want to check this out first.
Gervasius turns his back and seemingly points at the cell on the opposite side of yours.
The humidity in this cellar has made the iron bars rust. We'll have to find a way to stabilize the moisture here.
Kelzin turns to face where Gervasius pointed, uninterested. He inspects it shallowly with a few noises of acknowledgement. Gervasius quickly turns to face you and winks with his left eye.
That's my cue. I crank open the door and bust it open FBI style. I rush to strangle this fucker with my bare hands. That's a 22. He's going nowhere.
As Lionel barges through the door without warning, Kelzin gulps, as he's constricted by the neck by Lionel's hands. Gervasius pulls out his two ice sabers, ready to fight. Penelope jumps out of the cell, poised like a tiger.
I'll rush out too, ready to strike with my katana.
Same here, I'll have my greatsword out as my body crackles with electricity.
Suddenly, Kelzin's physical body turns into a shadow, which then glides on the floor of the tunnel. Lionel realizes that he's not holding anything anymore, as the body he once constricted now moves freely as a specter, rushing for the exit of the prison.
Slippery bastard. Get him before he escapes.
You chase after the formless shadow on the floor, which makes its escape into the outdoors. Upon exiting the dark dungeon, you realize that day is now turned into evening, as the sun is setting over the horizon. You notice how Kelzin rises from a shadow and turns right and continues running. He appears to be running into the middle of the bandit settlement, the courtyard. The place seems completely desolate, with not a single bandit in sight.
Is he trying to get us into an open area?
Perhaps close quarters combat isn't exactly his specialty.
Calzin comes to an abrupt stop at the end of the courtyard. He turns around with a malevolent expression on his face.
Ah, I see you've turned on me, trying to use these misfits to defeat me. 'Tis a shame, truly.
It's over for you. You've been abusing power over my comrades, and it's about time someone puts your sorry ass down.
And the way you abuse those weaker than you is heartless. I know I've said some sus shit, but what you have done takes not just the cake, but the whole damn bakery the cake was made in.
Putting others below you is a sign of weak mental stability, Calzin.
The summer company court system would have a field day with your cruel emo ass. Penny's gone through hell and back because of you.
Are you referring to the Felonor? You know damn well there's no laws protecting them. I can do whatever I want with her. Besides, she has no parental guardians. I'm simply doing her a service by providing her food and shelter.
Penelope's eyes redden as she screams, bursting into tears.
I had parents before you killed them.
And they pleaded for me to spare you. I'm just keeping my end of the promise.
That's it, motherfucker? I load my flintlock with malicious intent?
You hide your secrets from me like an enigma. Who the hell are you actually?
Calzin uprights himself and turns to meet Gervacious' gaze. An aura of dark tendrils surrounds him, flowing from his back.
I am Calzin Umbrasin, adjudicator of the ministry. Kelter will repeat itself, as this luminant will fall to the depths. I was planning on letting you join us, but alas, you've made your choice.
I'm done listening to this guy's yapping. I rolled to shoot this guy in the eye. A 10 shit.
Lionel, in his rage, goes to fire his flintlock. Calzin avoids the bullet as it barely grazes his hairs.
Not enjoying the theatrics, you dull soul. Fine then, I'll end this quickly.
Roll for initiative.
Darn, that's an 11.
A 12 for me.
Big dirty 20 over here.
Gervacious got a 22, Penelope rolled a 15, and Calzin rolled a 7. The turn order will go Gervacious, Lionel, Penelope, Basil, Jackdaw, and then Calzin. Gervacious jumps up on a nearby building roof and sends out a flurry of magic ice daggers at Calzin with advantage to hit. 15 to hit, and the attack deals 6 frost damage. The Frostdraw warrior sends out 3 daggers at Calzin, which pierces rope.
There's plenty more where that came from.
Oh please, your little needles aren't impressing anyone.
Well, then it's my turn to shine. I'll run a bit closer and snap my fingers, sending out a flare snap at this emo. Our plan will be to blind him like crazy, and then jump his ass with our melee fighters. Dang it, a 10.
Calzin snickers at your attempt to impair his vision as he points to his blindfold.
Wouldn't have worked anyways, Canor.
Man, that's some bullshit. How does he even see through that thing?
It's now Penelope's turn. Seeing what Gervacious did, she also jumps up to a nearby building's roof and uses her action hide, which succeeds as she's out of Calzin's vision.
Well, then it's my turn. Following Squibbo's advice from session 2, I'll do an investigation check of the surrounding area to find some advantages. Crap, that's an 8.
You don't notice much as of now, but you realize there are many walls you could use to possibly corner Calzin.
A bit of a nothing burger on that roll. I'll instead run over to Jackdaw and activate Placebo Effect talent to apply the potion of hardening on my armor. I'll save any mantras or attacks in case he summons more enemies.
Basil pours the contents of the potion over his cloak as it shines in a silver finish. Jackdaw's robes glow as well, improving both of your ACs by 3 for the next 3 turns.
Alrighty, since I'm basically a mega tank now, I'll run up close to Calzin and slash him with my katana. Yikes. A 13. I don't think that'll hit.
As Jackdaw runs to slash Calzin, the adjudicator catches the warrior's blade with his bare hands, throwing him back to a neutral stance.
Enough of this.
Calzin conjures his whip of shadows and lashes at you. Jesus, 25 to hit and 13 damage. He lashes with fury at Jackdaw, shredding through his armor easily. The whip leaves dark, ominous marks on Jackdaw's robe where it landed, as the vigil yelps in pain.
Sheesh, this guy hits like a truck.
It's not even over yet.
Oh, crap baskets.
After landing a hit, Calzin goes for a kick to flourish you away. He rolled a dirty 20, which just barely misses. Jackdaw steals his mind and dodges Calzin's boot, scarcely avoiding the blow.
I would have been a goner without that potion, dang.
For the love of all that's good in this world, Joey, why didn't you use your reaction to jump away?
I'm saving it in case I'm near death.
If he didn't miss that flourish, he could have one-shotted you. Remember to use it next time?
All right, fine then.
Gervacious makes his move as he jumps from the roof and lands on the ground next to Calzin, using his sneak attack since there's another person close by for advantage. Damn, a 22 and a dirty 20. The frozen rogue unsheathes both his blades and runs up close to Slice in an X pattern, dealing. Dang, 26 total frost damage. Gervacious slices in an X pattern, dealing an insane amount of damage to the surprised dark-robed man. He staggers backwards, bleeding profusely from his side.
Damn you, sneaky bastard!
I'll just fire a regular bullet at Calzin, since Flame Blind doesn't seem to work on him. Fuck yeah. Dirty 20 to hit and 9 piercing damage.
Right as Calzin is slashed from Gervasius, Lionel fires a bullet in the arm of the blindfolded man, which makes the limb recoil back from the shot. Calzin clenches his teeth and exhales violently. Penelope leaps down from the roof and goes to stab her former captor. She stabs twice, the first lands while the other misses. Penelope, seizing the opportunity, leaps down and stabs her blade violently into Calzin's back, dealing 9 piercing damage. She rips the blade out of his back with force as Calzin shrieks in pain.
I'll do another investigation to find an advantage. A 6, are you kidding me?
It do be like that sometimes.
Could I instead do a check to see what kind of attunement he's using? It's nothing like the attunements we got to pick from.
Because of your background, you actually already know. This is Shadowcast, an attunement considered illegal to use in most public spaces. Shadowcast mantras have a chance to steal the opponent's ether, which drain your mantra slots.
Good info, I guess. Lionel, could you lend some potions? I can utilize them better with my placebo effect talent.
Fine, I have 5 lesser healing potions in my inventory. You can have 2. I'll toss them to Basil.
Well, thanks. I'll try to climb up one of the houses to get some high ground.
For my turn, I will take a page out of Lionel's book and try to shove this guy prone. I'll run up and shoulder check him like a football player. Dang. Another 11.
Calzin, in the midst of the chaotic jumping, manages to dodge Jackdaw's tackle. He backs away slightly, glaring at you all with hatred.
I've had enough of you worthless morons. It's about time to take this seriously.
He forms his hands into a pattern similar to wings.
Umbersucker!
From the shadows, the wings of a large bat emerges, it claws its way out of the ground, and flies out from its shadow. The creature is large with an enormous wingspan. The Umbersucker's face is malformed, with odd-faced tentacles growing out from it with pale, empty eyes staring right at you. Calzin directs his arm skywards as the creature grabs it with its feet and starts to fly him around the settlement without giving you the chance to do an attack of opportunity. He flies directly over Lionel and Basil and opens his palm, sending out several bolts of dark energy. It's 15 and 25 to hit. The bolts find their target, dealing 8 necrotic damage to each person and stealing 1 mantra slot from you.
Dang, that ain't good.
The Umbersucker leaves him at the west side of the settlement as he lands gracefully on the roof of a wooden building. The Umbersucker got a natural 20 as its initiative, so it's first in the turn order. It flies swiftly, diving down to strike Lionel with its claws. 5 to hit, which misses as Lionel ducks, avoiding the Umbersucker's fearsome claws. Gervasius jumps up on the roof and sends out another wave of frozen daggers at Calzin. He rolled a 6, which misses, as the daggers embed themselves into the ground. It's now Lionel's turn.
I don't know who to hit first, the emo or the bat. I get disadvantage for being too close to the bat, so I guess I'm shooting the hat guy. Hell yeah, another dirty 20, and max damage on my flintlock, which is 12.
Lionel finds an opportunity to strike and fires right in the shoulder of the robed Shadowcaster. He recoils from the pain and postulates himself once more, staring right at you.
Persistent, are you?
Bitch, please.
Penelope runs as fast as she can and goes to try to stab the Umbersucker with her short swords. A 6 and an 8, which both miss. The shadowy beast, seeing the feliner trying to strike it, flies upwards, avoiding the attack. It's now Basil's turn.
I clasp my hands together and fire off a lightning beam at the Umbersucker to hopefully chain and deal some damage to Calzin too. Does a 13 and a 17 hit?
Yep, the Umbersucker has exactly 13 AC, so you're right at the edge.
Awesome. That's 7 and 4 lightning damage to the Umbersucker and Calzin, respectively.
The Umbersucker flashes with electricity, taking huge damage from the mantra. Calzin feels the surge of electricity and scoffs at the lack of damage. The hardening potion's effects have now faded.
Oh, just you wait, you cocky bastard.
For my turn, I'll jump up on one of the roofs of the buildings, and I cast a Windblade mantra at Calzin directly. Dang, 12, so that misses. I'll set my Gale Trap right in front of him as a bonus action instead.
Calzin dodges the blade of wind with ease, and large dark tendrils start growing from his back. The tendrils embrace various objects, such as crates, barrels, and small rocks from the surrounding area. The tendrils reel back and lob an avalanche of random materials at you all, requiring everyone to make an acrobatics saving throw to dodge the items.
13.
A 12 for me.
I'll instead use my Gale Leap reaction to jump over it, so I make another dex save, since I kind of got a 4 on my roll. Nice, I got an 18.
Gervasius and Penelope rolled a 7 and 13 respectively. Lionel and Penelope manage to dodge the flung items as Jackdaw uses his ability to jump over the crate being flung at him with ease. Basil and Gervasius don't react in time, and as such are stricken by various thrown blunt objects, taking 7 bludgeoning damage each, as they're pummeled by a wave of crates and barrels.
The wind step really saved me, huh?
Told you it was good.
The Umbersucker goes to slash Penelope with its claws, but misses. Gervasius runs through the chaos of the courtyard and runs to attack the Umbersucker with Rising Frost. Gervasius melds his 2 blades together as a sort of glaive and spins it around like the blades of a helicopter, dealing 17 frost damage. The frozen rogue lands a combo of slashes with his icy glaive and then knocks the bat down, dealing 2 extra bludgeoning damage. The creature is looking very weak now as shards of ice grow on its fur.
Most of my mantras are either too useless or too dangerous to use right now, so I'll just flare snap the Umbersucker since it doesn't work on Calzine anyways. That's a 17 to hit, so it lands.
As Lionel sends out a flash of light at the creature, it is vaporized by the brilliant light, dying instantly.
Are you serious? I could have done that all this time?
Good to know, I guess.
But that was my last mantra slot, since the emo kid stole one with a shadow bolt.
You still have the produce spark thing, so that's always good.
Penelope, instead of going for an attack, starts to rummage through the houses to find something. She finds a box with several oil lanterns, which could probably be lit up to fend against the shadow puppets or Calzin himself.
Goated as always.
Well, since my placebo effect cooldown is off now, I'll run up to Jackdaw and drink a lesser healing potion. Dang, that's a pretty garbage roll. I got a 3.
Hey, a 3 is better than nothing. For my turn, I'll run up close and jump up on the roof he's standing on. I'll position myself behind him and attack with my katana. Dirty 20 to hit and 7 slashing damage. I'll try to shove him off the building and into my gale trap. Darn. That's a 7.
Jackdaw lacerates the back of Calzin's head with a mighty slash and goes for another shoulder check to knock him off the building, which the dark-robed adjudicator manages to avoid at the last second. You notice how Calzin's blindfold falls off his face and flows down the roof and off the building. He looks back at you with a furious expression on his face. His revealed eyes show no sclera, they're just hollow sockets with dim crimson orbs as the irises.
Oh shit. Bro's going phase 2.
He furiously clenches his fists, which are now enveloped in a dark aura, and he screams.
Maximize Shadowcast, Shadebringer.
Oh, hell nah. He's screaming his attack names. We're cooked.
A large greatsword made out of pure Shadowcast materializes from his hands, and he goes for a vicious cleave, intending to slice Jackdaw in half. Oh.
Obama, what's going on?
Critical hit. He deals 43 necrotic damage, which is enough to kill you instantly with no death saves.
Snakey, no.
Damn it, not Snake Eyes.
He's dead. Shit, this can't be happening.
Well, boys, it's been a good run.
Calzin cleaves horizontally through Jackdaw, shredding through all of his bones and cartilage. The body of the sundered warrior now fades into dark dust into the evening sky, leaving only memories behind.
You left me no choice, Citrian scum. No more theatrics, no more banter. My only mission remaining is to gut you all with an honest-to-God smile on my face.
Calzine, you'll pay for that. There won't be a single part of your body that isn't frostbitten after I'm done with you.
The kobold-cloaked rogue now runs to the south of Calzin and conjures his warden blades, requiring Calzin to make a dexterity save above 15. 18, Calzin avoids the spinning blades with ease.
I'll grab one of those oil lanterns Penelope showed me, and I'll light it up and throw it at Calzine to see if it makes him weaker.
All right. For that, you'll have to make an athletics check to throw it.
Easy 21. I lob that shit with all my strength.
Lionel grabs one of the lanterns from the barrel, lights it up with his flame charm, and hurls it as hard and fast as possible at the Ministry Adjudicator. The lantern explodes on impact, sending out flames which engulf the dark-robed man. The attack deals 7 bludgeoning damage, and he now takes 1d4 fire damage per turn for the next 3 turns. Penelope runs close and goes for a sneak attack, since Gervasius is in close proximity. Both attacks miss as Calzin sidesteps her attacks.
For my turn, I'll drink a health potion and then Volt Warp to deal some quick damage, since I haven't been doing much in this fight. I heal 5 hit points from the potion, and I run decently close to zap him at the north side. 19 to hit and 10 lightning damage.
Basil chugs the small vial and warps, zapping Calzin with a furious surge of lightning. As it's now Calzin's turn, he conjures his dark whip and lashes at Gervasius. 17 to hit, and yikes, max damage, which is 16. Calzin's whip lashes right through the frozen rogue's armor, knocking him unconscious. Calzin uses his bonus action to fire a shadow bolt to finish off Gervasius. The bolt explodes, undoing the existence of the Bandit King. In his dying breath, you hear him yell,
Do you think you've seen the last of me? The depths won't contain me. I'll be back to finish you off.
You died like you lived, foolishly.
Are we cooked?
No, we have to clutch this for Jackdaw and Herbaceous.
You're right. I'll fire with my flintlock again, since it's been doing reliable damage. Yep, a 19 to hit and 7 damage. I can always trust my gun.
Lionel fires his flintlocks and hits the left leg of Kelzen, who's too happy about killing the man that betrayed him to care about the bullet.
This guy is the tankiest fucker we've ever fought.
With determination in her eyes, Penelope stabs twice with her swords. A 6 and a 14, which both fail. The sinister dark robe easily dodge her attacks and comments.
You don't make a good fighter, Felinor. You should have stayed as my pet.
I'll also climb up and slash him with my greatsword. 16 to hit and 11 damage. I'll try to shove him off the building as a bonus action and into Jackdaw's Gale Trap. Damn it, that's a 10. We're never detonating that thing.
Basil crashes down with his greatsword, slicing a chunk of flesh off the sinister Shadowcaster. Just like the fallen Vigil warrior, Basil goes to shoulder check him, but doesn't hit with enough force to knock him down.
Gah, you seem quite persistent to shove me down the building. You've set a trap, haven't you?
Ah, shit. He noticed.
Kelzen grabs something from his belt and throws it at Lionel as a bonus action. You recognize it as a dust bomb, which explodes into a dark cloud of energy. Roll either an Arcana or Constitution saving throw.
I got an 11 on my Constitution save. Is that enough?
Shadowy tendrils extend from the cloud, wrapping around all your limbs, restricting your movement, stunning you for a turn.
Damn, that's annoying. Y'all are going to have to finish him off without me.
He conjures his whip and goes to lash at Penelope, who shivers at the sight.
Feeling nostalgic?
Critical miss. Penelope's reflexes kick in as she vaults over the whip with finesse. She lands right in front of Kelzen and rage fills every limb of her body. Instead of stabbing him, she jams her thumbs into his eye sockets, gouging his eyes out. Kelzen screams in pain and falls down to the floor. She pushes her thumbs further, with anger flowing through her. He takes 9 piercing damage and 2 extra fire damage from Lionel's burn.
I'll grab my weird purple potion and force feed it to him. I want this guy to die as violently as possible.
Okay, roll for sleight of hand with advantage since he's been knocked prone by Penelope's brutal gouging attack.
That's a 16. He's chugging this entire thing, whether he wants it or not.
Basil takes the ominous lilac potion from his belt and uncorks it. He forcefully makes Kelzen drink the entire potion, and suddenly something odd happens.
Oh, please don't say I buffed him.
He wheezes and coughs as his head begins to pulse. His eyes shrink, and his pale, skinny hands begin to vibrate uncontrollably. He begins to claw away at his skin, which is pulsing.
What? Grow! Huh? Gremor, what did you feed me? What did you do to me?
Kelzen finally feels true fear for the first time in his life. From his reactions, you realize now that you've made him drink an entire bottle of mind-breaking venom, enough to bring anyone to insanity.
I look him right in his gouged eyes with a condescending expression. You are a worthless bitch-ass Shadowcaster. Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. I'm just gonna stomp you, you're gonna keep coming back, I'm gonna seal up all my cracks, you're gonna keep coming back. Why? Because you keep smelling the syrup, you worthless bitch-ass Shadowcaster, you're going to sip on my concoctions until you die. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now.
Kelzen suddenly stands up and his hat falls off his head. He begins to claw away at his eyes, which are currently bleeding. His face begins to bubble as weird growths start to pop on his face.
I see, Selter, the depths await me! Ah!
Kelzen's cranium explodes, sending pieces of his hair and skin all over the battleground. His body becomes a fountain of gore, spraying blood all over the place. You've avenged your fallen comrades, combat is over. You see Penelope walk up to Kelzen's body and spit on it.
The award for most cinematic kill goes to Basil. Jesus Christ, I need a rest. I'm fucking traumatized. I feel like David Martinez in that one episode in Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Saying we need a rest? I'm really sad that Joe and Bush are out of the campaign.
I wouldn't say they're out yet. They've plenty more to do.
Could you elaborate further?
Nah.
Okay, then screw it. We're just ending on a long rest inside one of the buildings. I got him warned.
I didn't like Jackdaw all that much, but it will feel empty without his banter.
The remainder of the gang, which live bunker up inside of an empty building in the settlement, with a few blankets. They drift asleep from the intense battle, surviving yet another day. You will level up from this session. Next episode, you'll get to tell us what new mantras and talents you picked. You will also unlock some class-specific things which will make you all stronger. As usual, thank you fellow viewers and players for watching this video. This signifies the end of the first arc. Goodbye, and enjoy your day or night. You both wake up, sleeping inside of a stone ruin. You open your eyes, seeing only blue sands and weird coral trees as far as the eyes can see. As you stand up, it feels like you're underwater, yet you can still somehow breathe. Up on the roof, you can see massive cracks of white light, serving as the only light source in this realm. Further ahead, you notice the massive walls of what looks like a sunken city.
Off my head. Feels like shit to be dematerialized.
Same here, man. Where are we anyways? How are we still alive?
You are in the first layer of the depths, the Selter Wastes.